You are welcome to today's episode of Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law.
Hi, welcome to Formula for Everyday podcast. I am your host, Lawrence Nkwacha, the Formula Law. So today we are going to continue with chapter 3. We started the last time we started with chapter 3, and chapter 3 is put first things first. So today we're going to be looking at effective time management. Now, time is a finite resource. It means that even whether you choose to spend it or not, it's certainly going to go down the drain. I mean, you always spend time. It's not like money or it's not like energy. You always spend your time. Whether you want to use it or not, your time is ticking, okay? And our time, when we begin to realize that every minute, every day, every hour, every year we spend is our life. I mean, it's actually our life reading. It's counting down to when we'll be laid down in the grave. Then we'll be able to see life from a different perspective. I like how that biblical script puts it. He said, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. So this is one of the wisdoms that I believe, if you are listening to this podcast, that God is about to help you with, and you'll be able to know how to order your life according to wisdom. I don't think this topic will be clear with just a podcast, so I'll try my best to make a video on the YouTube channel and post it. That's on this particular topic on time management. Okay, so starting out, he said the best thinking around time management is to organize and execute around your priorities. So every other thing can be an extra. Always organize and execute around your priorities, your strongest priorities, okay? Then the first generation of time management was about using notes and checklists. You use notes, all those sticky notes you place on your notice board or your book. Then you have checklists like to-do lists. You get to check out to-do list and all that. So that was the first generation of time management. So we now evolved to the second generation, which is the use of calendar and appointment with books. Like we use calendar, appointment. You get your PA or EA to get you to manage your time. Then the third generation now came to talk about. It now adds to prioritization and clarifying values by setting time-bound goals. Now, the third generation is exactly where we are right now. Is by setting time blocks on your goals. You set time blocks such that if you want to visit a friend, you can set out an hour in the day. You don't just make a plan on your to-do list that you want to visit a friend on Tuesday. You set out an hour or 2 or 3, depending on how much you want to invest in that relationship. And I still there's a lot to discuss in this book, but depending on the kind of person you are going to visit, there could be need to invest in the relationship through conversation. So you could actually set out sufficient time to discuss so that you don't get to spend extra time or less time. So when you start setting time blocks on your goals, you now find out that you'll be more effective, because once time has passed for a particular goal, then you know that you have to borrow from another time you're supposed to use for something else to fill in for that goal you've missed. Okay? So the efficiency of focus creates expectations that clash with opportunities. The efficiency of focus creates expectations that clash with opportunity. So I like how John C. Maxwell put it. He said that luck is when opportunity meets with preparation. So if you are unprepared, even when you see opportunities, first you won't recognize it, and secondly you can't even use it, you can't utilize it because you are clearly not prepared for it. Alright, so moving on.
You are still listening to Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
So moving on, just to complete that, Steve said the efficiency of focus creates expectations that clash with opportunities to develop rich relationships, meet human needs, and enjoy the spontaneous moments on daily basis. So the challenge is not to manage time, but to manage ourselves. So you can't manage time. I mean, you can't keep your time. You can't choose to sleep all day and still use your 24 hours of today tomorrow. No, it doesn't work like that. Time is always going, so you have to manage yourself against time. So there are two factors that come to play when it comes to the activity of management of time, and those two factors are 1, urgency, and 2, importance. So this is exactly why I said a video will be best for this particular episode, and I will try my best to say I can bring out a video version of this particular episode. But I will just quickly breeze through what I have here. That's on the difference between that's how urgency and importance affect our goals as productive individuals. So first of all, now there are four boxes. I mean, there are 4 different categories of how you can manage your time. So there are activities that are important and urgent. Please just take note. There are 4 different types of categories of activities that tend to take your time. So first of all, there are activities that are important and urgent. Then there are activities that are important and not urgent. Now, we have important and urgent, and also important and not urgent. Then the other two activities are activities that are urgent and not important. Then the fourth one is activities that are not urgent and not important. So I'm just going to be reading out some of the activities that he gave in the book, so you could just analyze it for yourself and perhaps check out the book to also see how you can get more information from it. So the activities that are urgent and important include activities like crisis. Crises happen in life whether you plan them or not. Then we have pressing problems, like you could have a money problem, or you could just have a health issue or a challenge or something. Then you also have deadlines. So there are projects that you need to finish. Maybe at your work you have deliverables and all that. So those are activities that are important and urgent. Then we now have another set of activities which are important but are not really urgent. And these activities include prevention. Now, you've heard that prevention is better than cure. Yes, being safe is always better than being sorry. So prevention and personal development activities, like you want to develop your production capabilities, your production capacity. All those activities are important but not urgent. Nobody's pressing you to read a book. Nobody's even pressing you to listen to this podcast, because it is certainly important, but you might not see the urgency now. Okay, so relationship building. So building relationship with people around you, building relationship with your family, your friends. Then recognizing new opportunities. So learn to think in decades. You need to, whatever it is you want to do in the next 10 years, it's exactly what you should start doing right now. Okay, then planning and recreation. So we often get into burnout because we continue to do things impulsively. So you need to learn how to plan, learn how to recreate, have fun. Sometimes go to the beach, step out with friends, have fun, go on road walks, jog. So these are activities that are important but not urgent, because they are just somewhere at the background, but you don't really tend to see their urgency now. Okay, then looking at activities that are urgent but not important. Urgent but not important. Now, these include interruptions, like that's your work body that is coming to show you something that is certainly not important or relevant to work. Then we have some calls. Some calls are urgent, but they are certainly not important. Then we have some mails, some reports, we have some meetings, especially right now. If you are living in the city of Lagos, you understand that some meetings are totally unnecessary. Like you could literally spend half of your life in traffic. Okay, so I mean, with the innovation of social media, there are a lot of things that should be brought to the meeting. And just like one of my mentors would say, he said, whenever you are planning a meeting, you should actually have everything written out. Not when you get to the meeting, you begin to ask questions like, what should we discuss in the meeting? Everything should be set before you go for the meeting, okay? Then we have pressing matters, then we have popular activities. So some popular activities, I'm a football fan, like I'm a very, very big fan of Ronaldo, but Some popular activities like going to watch football matches when you are not actually recreating is set